Hello, welcome back to St Mirren Shiny.
So today we're going to be doing viewers' questions. So I asked on Twitter if anyone had got anything to ask. The first one comes from Jake's. It's Jake SZNZZ. So however you pronounce that.
I'm sure we'll display it on the screen.
Yeah.
If Ollie gets the United job, what do you think his realistic targets will be for next season?
Well, we said this season he'd probably get the job if he wins a trophy, finishes top four. If he does that this season, he's definitely got to do a little bit better next season.
I mean, bare minimum would be top four, you'd think, next season.
He's made it quite clear, though, in interviews that he thinks top four is not enough for Manchester United.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't think, realistically, they're going to challenge for the title anytime soon.
It seems unlikely unless something goes wrong at City or Liverpool. There's quite a gap to make up, isn't there?
Yeah.
Also depends what happens in the window as well. I think they probably need a bit of work, don't they?
There'll be some changes, I think. Definitely some dead wood out. But I think with Manchester United is they're just a different proposition to any other team, aren't they, in terms of what they deem success. They've had it for so long, and now they've had that inevitable slump after Ferguson. So you feel like the fans possibly could be having a bit of a false dawn at the moment with him. Because he is doing so well.
Yes, he is.
To carry on.
So expectation-wise, I'd say, like you say, top four. Whether or not that's good enough, I don't know.
I think, the fans would be happy, I think, if they carried on playing open, attractive football and finished top four again next season.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think for realistic fans, that would be enough.
Yeah, like building a project, really, isn't it? Really?
Good Champions League run as well would definitely be good for them.
So,
I think
probably top four and quarters of the Champions League or something like that would be a good
if he gets the job.
If he gets the job. Yeah.
Definitely.
What about any transfers or anything? Do you think there's anything that they particularly need?
I think they'll get rid of players like Sanchez. I think he'll go. I think they'll get rid of. I think there'll be a few players they need to get in, really. Definitely.
There might be an issue up front with Lukaku. I don't think he really suits Solskjaer. I think he's a good player. He's good on the ball. In terms of he's actually a better passer, I think, than people realise, and he is a good target man. But I think he wants a slightly more expansive game, doesn't he, Solskjaer? Where I think he wants a forward that's constantly running in behind, or stretches teams. I'm not sure Lukaku is that.
No, probably right back. You can't keep relying on Ashley Young.
Yeah, definitely the right back. I'm surprised he's not giving Dalot more
game
time. He looks pretty good.
And possibly another centre back again. Jones, Smalling. Not exactly.
Yeah, Lindelof's looking good now.
Lindelof looks brilliant
from nowhere. He does actually look really good.
Yeah, he looks really good.
I think another sort of playmaker midfielder as well, because obviously Mata and them sort of players aren't getting on a bit, aren't they? So somebody who can kind of pull the strings a bit. Pogba's obviously getting better under.
He's doing brilliantly. But yeah, maybe a striker, or they could play Rashford or Martial up front.
Yeah,
they're after Douglas Costa, I think, aren't they? So he could play wing, and one of those could go up front, maybe.
Try and get the best out of Fred.
I imagine Fred might be on his way.
I think so.
The fact that even when players are out injured, McTominay comes in, other players like Lingard was rushed back from injury, he came on it. It just seems like he doesn't rate Fred at all.
Don't think it suits his style, does he?
No, he's not done really well enough at all. So probably about it.
Yeah. Top four and reinforcements.
I think so. Which brings us on to the next one, which is from Football Kai. I think that's how you say it. When will Sanchez fuck off?
I think he'll go at the end of the season.
I think he'll go at the end of the season. I mean, he's fallen off quite.
He's gone down the pecking order. I mean, I don't know when this video is going to go out, but I'm going to base this on yesterday's match with Manchester United-Liverpool. The fact that he seemed like he was down the pecking order, even with all the injuries. A player of that class should be starting games. And I think he is an absolutely brilliant player on his day. And
Has his day gone though?
I think if he went somewhere else, he'd be fucking brilliant again. I just don't know whether Manchester United suits him, and I think it's almost the damage has been done for him in terms of confidence.
I think his confidence is shot, isn't
it?
He did do an interview recently where he said, he wants his hunger for playing football. He hates not playing. A lot of players, because he's on something like after bonuses, like his signing on fee and all that. It's meant to be around 600k a week he's earning at Man United.
I know,
with all the add-ons and everything, image rights and all of that. No one else is going to offer him anywhere near that. So who's going to pay him even 200?
I know.
But if he gets his hunger back, will he not just go for something like that?
I mean, it's the same with like the Ozil situation at Arsenal. Like, obviously, don't raise him. He's starting to come back into the team a little bit now. But who's going to pay the money that he's getting, and why would he leave? You know what I mean? When he's getting that every week.
It depends how much you want to play, doesn't it? I mean, Sanchez has kind of made this statement now that he just wants to play football. He says, when you take the ball away from me, you take my joy away. Well, so he's kind of putting himself under pressure. If you really mean that, then there'll be someone willing to take him. But there's not going to be anyone willing to pay
definitely suggests
half
then
of what he's on
it's
now.
either you play me or I'm going in the summer then, surely.
Yeah, but I think they'd be fine to get rid. I think that's. I don't think it's an issue with that. I think it's just who would pay.
Do you think Bayern Munich, someone like that, would probably have him? PSG?
I think it's with Munich, they're trying to phase out their ageing wingers, aren't they? I don't know if just bringing in another ageing winger is kind of what they need. His issue is, I just think he might be past it. It might be a confidence thing that he can get it back.
He has played a lot of games.
He's played a lot of games, and those sort of explosive players do tend to peak a bit earlier, don't they? So it might just be that he's
I've
done.
said for ages about him that, obviously form's temporary, class is permanent. But I've been saying that for ages now, and like you say, has he lost it? It's that... He is, at Arsenal, he looked...
Oh, he's brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
He deserved... Well, he probably didn't deserve the money he's on, but he at least deserved to be one of the top paid players in the Premier League. But, I can't see him there next season. That's my opinion. You might think differently, but I just think, like you say, if he's not going to get games...
Yeah.
He's probably going to push to move, isn't he?
I think he should move, and I think Man United would be happy to get him off the wage bill. Like, more than happy. I'm just not convinced of who is going to pay it.
Or who's going to have him? Right? I can't think of a lot of big teams that will have him anymore. Surely.
Well, that's it. To me, he'd have to go to maybe the next rung down, and someone that's only paying him 150, 200. Say only 200. If he's willing to take that, then there'll be plenty of teams wanting to have a gamble, but maybe not in the very top bracket. That's the thing, isn't it?
So, to answer the sort of original question, how long do you think he's going to be at Man United for?
Like you say, potentially in the summer he'll go. But I think it just depends on what he's willing to accept and what clubs are willing to pay for him.
What do you reckon, guys, end of the season?
I think his time's done. I think, personally.
Yeah,
I think if he's saying that, he obviously wants to play, so he's quite willing to move. Or if not, he's shooting himself in the foot, really, and if he doesn't go anywhere. His
career's never going to come back at Man United. There's the amount of people I've spoken to who just hate him now. There seems like a hate figure, almost like... I mean, obviously, it's not quite the same, but like Fellaini was in the end, the groans and the grumbles when his name's announced in the team. And as soon as you've got that, it's hard to come back from that.
Yeah, I think it's slightly different with Fellaini because he just never seemed like a Man United player, whatever that means. But he was kind of seen as the symbol of the mediocrity post-Ferguson, wasn't it? It was sort of like Fellaini was like the poster boy of how shit they've been.
Yeah.
Maybe slightly harshly at times. I think whereas Sanchez, at his peak... did seem like a United player, didn't he? He's the sort of player you'd want to see at that level. But I just think his time is done there.
Worst unveiling ever as well on the piano.
Certainly a strange one.
What happened?
When they unveiled him, he was like playing piano, wasn't he? They had every video now of like an unveiling's ridiculous,
trying to outdo
and
each other, aren't they? Yeah.
And it was just him playing the piano.
Can he play the piano?
Yeah, I think
so.
Right. Well,
next club it'll be a recorder.
Chopsticks.
So that's that one sorted, I think.
Yeah. What's next?
So Juani Huaguda, Joanny Jugador asks.
Why are you saying it in that accent?
I don't know. It's probably called John. Who's the best midfielder playing outside the Prem?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't get to see a lot of like German league, Italian league, whatever. Yeah. But what I have been watching, I've kept an eye on him for a long time because I'm a big Football Manager geek. Verratti.
Oh, Verratti's great.
He is a brilliant player.
Yeah, so I was thinking for this we do proper central midfielders rather than like attacking mid or DMs.
Yeah, you
just keep it as like actual proper central midfielders. Verratti is absolutely brilliant, isn't he?
Do you think Modric cuts it?
Yeah, I think Modric still has to be in with the shout. He's probably faded a bit this year.
Yeah, I think because Real's season's been a little bit up and down, might be a little bit past it, but I mean, it might not be his fault. It could be a lot of the players around him.
You feel like if he went to another Premier League club again, though, he'd look absolutely class.
Oh, of course.
I mean, he's getting on as well. It probably is that he's like past his peak. But I think last year he was probably. I think Tony Kroos as well at the same club. Yeah. He's absolutely brilliant central mid. I think both of them are in with a shout. But like you say, Madrid have slipped this season, so you don't know how much is to do with them or just like the loss of Ronaldo and not really replacing him adequately.
But I mean, the only thing with Verratti is though, like, I mean, he's in the French league, which you're looking at half the teams in there aren't particularly good teams, are they?
But when they played Man United in the Champions League, which was billed as like, this is going to be Pogba's stage. Is Pogba now the best CM? Verratti just completely dominated that game, half fit as well.
Yeah, like one-legged, like he looked a class above, didn't he? Like,
just dictated play from start to finish. He was.
We're saying he's only like 3'10" as well. Like
he's got a bit of Xavi about him. His kind of ownership of the
I think
ball.
his all-round game's brilliant. He can put his foot in, he can tackle, he can read the game, he can pass.
Bastard,
yeah, he is.
Do
Yeah.
you think he'll come to the Prem then, or do you think he's going to go somewhere?
I'd love to see him.
I'd love to see him in the Prem.
I think he nearly did move. I think was it like a couple of years ago when he was like all the big teams were after him.
Yeah, I remember Arsenal were linked to him quite highly. Weren't they?
I think anyone would have him. I think he'd get in any team in the world. He's that good. But he's obviously being paid handsomely there at a very good team, so it'd be hard to get him out. Thiago, I love Thiago. He's absolutely super.
I don't know much about him the last season or two, but I know he's a bit of a classy player.
I think he would have been better than Modric if he'd not had so many injury problems. I think that's how highly I rate him, because he can play. You could play him defensive mid, you could play him like number 10, you can play him like central mid where he generally plays. He's so class on the ball, he just oozes class. He's passing, he's touch, he's dribbling, like he's press resistant, which is like a big thing these days, isn't it? Yeah, I think he's in with a shout as well.
It's weird we've not mentioned anybody from Syria yet. Is there anybody in that league?
I'll be honest, I've not seen it for a while.
No, but you'd at least think you'd hear a name or two, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like,
I think in a few years, Benton Kerr's got a good chance.
Yeah.
He looks really promising. He does look very good. I wouldn't say there's probably someone we're overlooking, someone quite obvious, but there's no one that springs to mind. Pjanic is good. Yeah. He's a good player. But I wouldn't say there's anyone that I can think of in Serie A at the moment that's at quite that level. It does feel like a lot of the ones we've named are getting on a bit. Yeah. It kind of feels like there's going to be another batch coming through soon that will like take the mantle.
Ajax seem to be pretty good at. Well, they lost half their team, didn't they, when they made it to the final of the Europa?
Their youth system's relentless, isn't it?
It just seems to be so good at just getting almost like, I wouldn't say world class, but definitely sort of top class players coming through.
Well, Frankie de Jong is obviously meant to be in the pipeline, isn't he, to be truly world class? He looks some of the numbers you see of like his touches per game and like pass success and all that, it does look look really good. That's the thing. That's the trouble, isn't it? Like sometimes it doesn't always translate to different styles and different leagues, or maybe takes time to. We'll see. I mean, my shout would be Thiago, just because I love him. I've always had a soft spot for him.
I'd say Verratti.
Verratti's up there, definitely.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
Cool. I think it's the last one. Nicholas Cater, can actually say that one. Which player should Chelsea sign to make them formidable again?
Well,
about 20 of them.
That's the thing, they need more than one. It's probably
I think striker's the first thing that they're desperately need, because Higuain, whilst being class, he's definitely past it now, isn't he? It's a hard league to come to when you are already on the way.
Yeah.
They need somebody. They've not had a brilliant striker for a long time.
No, I mean Costa
was good, but
still not quite top rung. Yeah, but he was good.
Drogba was
as well.
Drogba, with what we know, big game player, but
Giroud, I do rate Giroud, but again, you need balls into the box for him, and it's not really the style of Chelsea. Is it? They need someone young, fast, exciting.
I think Icardi will be the one they really try and go for. Although he's not as mobile, I think, as what might suit Sarri's system. But he's obviously a cut above. Yeah. Most of what's out there. Certainly
he's an absolute prick, though, isn't he?
I think he is a bit of a.
And that's definitely would suit Chelsea. You know what I mean?
They need a bit more player power, don't they?
They hoard them, though, don't they? I mean, he might have matured a bit. I mean, I think a lot of what he's done was when he was a bit younger. Was he like 26?
26 now. Yeah.
Cardi. He might have matured a bit. He's obviously a bit of a cock.
We should probably add that they can't sign anyone for 2 transfer windows.
They're meant to be able to this summer.
Yeah, because they're repealing, aren't they? So they're pretty much going to have this summer, but I reckon the next 2 they're going to be up the.
It all depends what's going on at the club, really. Who's going to want to go at the moment, But
depends if Sarri's going to still be there as well. You don't even know what system they're going to play.
Well, I mean, after the final, the consensus seems to have shifted though after the Kepa incident. Yeah, shifted more into Sarri's favour.
It could actually help him long term. Yeah, because it really just highlights how much player power there is there and how hard it is for the managers to actually do their job.
I do wish he'd not come out and try to defend it. I wish he'd just come out and called him a twat.
It's kind of the right thing to do, though, isn't it? Behind closed doors, I bet they've had like a right fucking scuffle. Yeah. But to the press, you've kind of got to say, well, play it down a bit. If
he sort of hasn't, has he? He has, like we were saying on our last video, that he's been a bit almost too brave, Sarri, in how much he's criticised the club and the players. I kind of expected him to come out and just call him a cunt. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this interview. It's going to be great. It's boring. It's just like towing the line. Yeah. I don't know if someone had a word with him, or if he just calmed down to such an extent he thought, I just can't be arsed.
Kepa's apology is weird, though. It's kind of
not
the
really
most
an apology.
non-apology I've ever seen. It's
kind
kind
of really an apology. It was more of an attempted explanation, wasn't it? But it wasn't great.
Mm. But yeah, in terms of Chelsea, though, instead of just a striker, I mean, if it was me, I'd probably get rid of Hazard.
I don't know, though, because where's the creativity going to come from? Because I feel like he's one of the most creative players in the Premier League.
Oh, yeah. I feel one of the best players.
Yeah, if they lost him, they'd have to get somebody, or at least two other players that are that creative. And it's not easy. There's not that many players.
With the selling now, if you can't sign anybody next season, you're losing for no, don't you, really?
I think it wouldn't have been as much of an issue a few years ago for Chelsea, because this summer they'd have just spent whatever they wanted on whoever they wanted, whereas now it does seem like their other teams have overtaken them a bit. And are they in as a powerful position as well to just buy like 8 players?
I kind of feel like Abramovich has lost his kind of interest a little bit.
He's not even allowed in the country, is he, at the minute?
So it's a bit of an issue. So yeah, I think it's going to be a big summer for them. There's a lot of things they need, but I think a striker is the glaring one, isn't it? Realistically, who would you want? You'd think Icardi is maybe the one they could get. Yeah. He could be maybe the best that they could get. That'd be a good shout. I think he'll go to Munich, to be honest. I think he's going to be Lewandowski's replacement. It just seems like it fits. He's already played in that league.
Yeah.
He's German. It seems like that's the kind of the obvious thing, isn't it? I mean, who everyone would want is Mbappe, isn't it? If you could someone who's like could play like wing, but I think he'll end up being a proper striker. But no, that's it. But that's I think maybe it would have done 8 years ago when he was 12. But you know what I mean? No, the up and coming might have gone to.
Well, I mean that's
Chelsea.
what Chelsea did though, wasn't it? They bought as many players as they hoping to get in the next Messi, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And it's kind of.
Whereas now, like if he's got his choice of clubs that he could go to, if PSG hadn't sold him, Chelsea would be quite a long way down the list.
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely.
the trouble. Whereas maybe Icardi might be gettable.
Yeah.
Not particularly a striker, but they link quite highly with Sancho, aren't they? Jadon Sancho.
I think United. I think he'd be a good fit for United as well.
Yeah. Sancho. I mean, they've got Hudson-Odoi.
I know. That's it. Why would you want to go if you're Sancho to a team that's basically not playing your equivalent?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he could be as good. That's the thing. He's not really been given a chance.
Yeah.
Like Sancho has looked brilliant as soon as he's been given a chance. It might be the same with Hudson-Odoi. Whenever I see him, he looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
But you only see him in such small bursts, don't you? And then
exactly. Yeah. Anyone looks good in a highlight reel, don't they? Yeah.
But he obviously is promising.
Defenders.
I mean, they need a lot. I think they need a centre back.
They need a left back.
I think they need a left back, potentially a right back, at least one midfielder, at least one more winger and a striker. Apart from that, and maybe a keeper now if Kepa fucks off.
They don't need a defensive midfielder though, do they? They've got enough of those.
So I'd say a striker.
Striker's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, if they could only buy one, and I don't think one, even if they bought the world's best striker, I don't think it'd make them necessarily formidable in the same way.
Getting on, but Cavani.
Again, it might just be the same thing as like Higuain coming just a bit too late. I think Cavani's better actually. I really do rate Cavani. But he's just...
It's more names than actual ability, isn't it? If you know what I mean. It's like...
I mean, Cavani is brilliant.
Oh, he is brilliant,
you just end up... It happens a lot when you come to the Prem a bit too late.
Yeah.
It's just... It doesn't quite work, does it? I do think they need somebody younger, maybe a bit more mobile.
Well, I think that's why, if they're going to stick by Sarri, they need to go by his ethos, you know what I mean?
That's it.
Buy players who will fit his system,
definitely.
not just buy big name players like they have done for years. Yeah.
So I reckon... Is there anything else? Any other players we can think of?
Not really, off the top of my head. Not that would be gettable. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of good young strikers around, but I just don't know if Chelsea would be the destination for them.
Yeah.
As soon as other clubs show a bit of interest, like Piatek, people like that.
Yeah.
I think.
And I think with Chelsea's position at the minute, can they rely on buying youth players for their first team? They definitely need to blend it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't just instantly bring in somebody who's like 17, 18 and like, stick with you.
Like
For
Mason Mount straight into the team.
Yeah, stuff
struggle
like,
a little bit. I think.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's it. They need somebody that's like ready, don't they? Kind of here and
now,
but
somebody
also young enough that can improve.
Yeah,
and
if somebody's not 27,
well.
28, somebody who's like 24, 25.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
There's players, I mean, Decore and players in the Premier League at the moment, I think would suit Chelsea. I think there's players that they could probably poach from lower down and bring them up.
Yeah.
But like you say, the players that are top level, your PSGs, and they're all going to go, are they? There's no way. It's a step down, which you never thought you'd say like 10 years ago that Chelsea would be a step down from a lot of clubs.
That's the thing. It's kind of. I mean, they've brought this on themselves with their short-term thinking,
which
has worked. You know, you can't. You look at their trophies and you say, well, it's worked, but they have ended up in a situation where
it's all disjointed.
It's very disjointed, and they need a lot of work now. And it's come at a time where they're probably at their least attractive to other players, isn't it? And I think, like we said on the last video, you don't want to go over old ground, but they could have still had Salah and De Bruyne.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's, you know, they have kind of shot themselves in the foot a bit with their short-term thinking.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else we need
to add?
I
don't think so. Quick shout out to Canadian Rom as well. Follow him on Twitter. He's a big fan of the show. And he's a great guy.
And keep sending you questions.
Yeah.
He just keep sending questions. We're happy to answer anything football related or even not football related. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, anything.
anything. Just talk to us, please.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Cheers.
See you later.